Elon Musk there got busted for being a fake gamer, and then they got busted again for being a real Nazi. As we see there.
Fake gamer girl, man. We heard about all those back in the day, and it turns out they're real, and Elon Musk is one of them.
Yeah. So if people didn't hear this, people have probably already heard it already. It's already been played out pretty much. That initially it was like somebody who kind of broke the story. Let me pull up their name there. But somebody who kind of saw him play Path of Exile 2 and kind of saw the way he was playing it, and he was at this high level, and then people kind of thought like, wait a second, like I don't think that what I mean, how to actually play this game the way it's kind of
He's
shown
just
it.
ignoring like loots, like really important loot that you would pick up if you were playing the game. Just
Yeah.
walking by it, not paying attention to it.
And it was this YouTuber right here. I'm gonna get his name in a minute, but let me see there. Let me know if you can hear the audio as well with this.
I cannot.
Okay. Let me see right here. Let me add it to uh, this right here. Uh,
A lifetime of playing video games. At one point, I was, maybe one of the best Quake players in the world.
You're actually like a world-class, incredible video game player.
Yeah.
Paragon board and the build, you're also an innovator there.
Yeah, I played a lot of video games.
You think about like StarCraft, any game where a lot of people are playing. To rise to the top, you have to be exceptional, period, as a human being.
Yeah.
There has to be something exceptional about you.
Yeah.
Are you in the top 20 in the world or top 20 wow, in Diablo?
Yeah.
Shooting rockets into space, making e-vehicles, starting a new department of the government. I actually let myself think maybe he actually is an alien because there's just no way.
I have no idea why he's dressed like elf. Will Ferrell's elf. I have no idea.
Let's start off with some context.
That
Elon Musk's character is currently level 97, aka rank 12 on hardcore. That's permanent.
And then this YouTube is Quinn69 TV is the name there.
Permanent death mode. Trade League. Let me try to give you a quick understanding as to how hard it is to get to that level. 2 weeks into the league, when people are playing the game, literally they're staying up 40 to 50 hours without sleeping, only playing Path of Exile, and they are the most try-hard guys in the world. The highest ranked player on the Hardcore Trade League was level 93. Okay, and you're thinking about yourself, that's kind of close to 97. Every time you level up, it becomes exponentially harder to gain experience. A lot harder and a lot harder. Okay, so these players, to get to 97, have to be playing the game every day for the majority of their day. Currently, what is their highest ranked player? They're level 97, same as Elon Musk. So, I mean, he effectively has to be playing, pretty much just doing nothing except playing Path of Exile. So let's just go over some of the things that happen. So right away, we see Elon zone into his hideout, which is the area you do in-game content from. And he opens up his bank, and he goes to a tab called Elon's Maps, which immediately is...
And then people also talking about the layout that he has here doesn't really make too much sense. People comparing it to his Elden Ring kind of layout as well, which you also
now
said
that I saw.
Being somebody who plays Elden Ring yourself there, if I'm going to show the image and you explain kind of what's wrong there with this. So what's wrong with this image? Point to me where all the red flags with this image, I guess.
Well, okay, so you see with the weapons here on the top two rows, you don't need to, you don't typically, at least I don't. I mean, look, maybe there's some people who play this differently, but playing these games, everything you're equipping, you have an equip load weight limit, right? I'm sure you played at least one game at some point in your life where there was like an over encumbering thing, right? Where like if you carried too much stuff, you couldn't move as fast.
Right.
So now you do have an unlimited inventory, but this is the equip screen. This is the stuff that you have attached physically to your character. So why you would attach all of those weapons and all of these shields all at the same time, I don't really get. There's not a good reason to do that. You you basically weighing yourself down for no reason. You're not going to use all of those weapons in a single encounter. The way that you tend to play those games is you're, remapping what you're using depending on what area you're going into, because you're going to run into different stuff. Different stuff is going to be effective. You don't just kind of like load up on everything and carry it attached to you at all times. So that's what throws me off about the way that looks.
Yeah. And yeah, people are clowning him for this kind of loadout that he had there as well. Yeah, like you said, it just doesn't really make sense. All these shields and everything like that kind of in the inventory. And with the whole kind of Path of Exile, have you played the game before, Path of Exile?
That is not one I have played. Maybe at some point, but games like that can be just such a time commitment, and there's already games that are super long that I play and try and get through. It's maybe someday, but I think I just don't have the free time for that massive of a game right now.
Yeah. And like the creator was saying, these are type of games like Path of Exile 2 that you have to grind for hundreds and hundreds of hours to get good at it, to gain this experience, to gain all these kind of weapons, to do all that. And then people also linked, so people saw that they were able to see that when he was actually supposedly playing the game, that he was also having this business meeting with German politicians there on. He was doing a Twitter space thing with them. And then so people say, how are you on Twitter space and playing the game at the same time? I think also people were able to track that the IP was in an Asian country and not the country that he's in currently. So people were also able to do that with the gameplay that I saw there with him. And at first he was kind of going back and forth with people, saying that no, I do really play the game and I know what I'm doing. And he got back and forth there with one of your favorite people there, Asmongold there, and did that. And he even leaked.
I love the smell of rats in the morning.
And he even leaked some DMs there between the two of them. This is kind of one of them there, where he was like, Elon Musk says, Asman behaves like a maverick independent, but in reality, he has to ask his boss for permission before he can do anything. He is not his own man. And then, so he leaked this DM. So it has the top layer of Asmongold saying, I'm going to see if my editors might want to make a second account for it even. And then that's when Elon Musk replies, sure. Who are these mysterious editors? That's what people kind of get caught up on. Like, does he not know what editors are or what editors do?
Yeah, that sounds like an alien trying to fit in with humans and not knowing how to do it.
And then that's when Asmongold replies, two guys. He gives the editors' names and says they basically run the entire YouTube account. So basically any content I post is edited or uploaded by them, and they just get a cut of the ad rev. It's super good system, to be honest. Everyone on YouTube does it. And then that's when he replies, interesting, to that. So he's trying to make it seem like the editors tell him what to do and then he does it. And then that, like, he seems like the editors are his boss and not the other way around of that. So it's like you don't understand exactly what editors mean or what they are. Because Asmongold was the one that also covered the situation with the whole fake gamer thing and him being exposed. And then when they kind of went through a back and forth, he even accused Asmongold of being a fake gamer. It's like, but people could actually prove that. It's like, well, he got famous for being a World of Warcraft player, like a top level World of Warcraft player. That's how he kind of got famous. And there's proof of that, of him doing that. And
only someone that actually did that's house would be that disgusting. So I believe that he's.
Yeah. Hey, that's why he got famous. You want to know how Asmongold got famous? That's part of the reason why. And then, so when they did get into the Twitter spat, he actually his blue check got taken away on Twitter there. And this is him talking a little bit about it here.
Yeah, I just compartmentalize everything. Why do you unfollow you? I would assume that since I am not following him either right now, I would assume that he soft blocked me, which means that he probably blocked me and then unblocked me, which made it to where I don't follow him and he also doesn't follow me. Now, I will have to tell you that the last time that happened to me was with an angry ex-girlfriend.
That's
That's the most unbelievable part of the story there.
yeah, I mean, did he? Was his house just a completely different house at some point in time? Like, what woman was going in there?
I mean, I guess it must have been maybe, at one point maybe it was like the Resident Evil house. Maybe it was normal at some point. There was a happy, loving family there. Maybe
Right.
at one point there.
At one point in the past, it had to have something to decay from. So
So he did take away his blue chip, but he gave it back there. But it just kind of shows that Elon Musk is a petty guy. Like he does petty shit like that when he is in kind of spats with people. And then finally, he just kind of admitted that yes, he does cheat in Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4. That amid the kind of the fake gamer kind
looks
of.
like he's really proud of it with that picture.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. It looks like he's jerking off to players right now. He's so proud. Absolutely there. So I guess to talk. I know this is kind of old there, but I mean, I guess what kind of is the psychology that drives a person to lie about something as meaningless and trivial as this, being like the top level player of these video games?
Yeah, I mean, it's wild because I mean, like growing up at the time I did, I feel like I remember when it wasn't really like a cool thing to be into video games or like super nerdy stuff. So it's really hard for me to wrap my mind around why you would lie about being into this thing that like I remember, it didn't happen to me personally, but like I remember there were kids getting shoved in lockers for being into stuff like that. So just like would possess someone to lie about being one of the best at this like nerd. I mean, I get the culture's changed, like nerd culture's big now, I guess, but it's also just to me it is again with the whole maybe he really is an alien and he just doesn't quite grasp human behavior because I feel like the definable thing that I understand about video game like gamers on the internet is that they are extremely fickle and like they will change their opinion of someone as quickly as the wind can change directions. So if you piss them off, whether it makes sense or not, whether it's deserving or not, either way, they will flip on people. And so why you are attempting to ingratiate yourself into a crowd that is specifically famous for like changing their collective opinion at the drop of a hat. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
So Musk here. So it says in this article right here. So this was when he was doing an exchange with YouTuber Nico Rec here. In it, Nico Rec shared screenshots of DMs exchanged with Musk, of which the tech billionaire apparently said were okay to publish. During the conversation, the Tesla CEO admitted to using account boosting to compete in Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is in game there, but he said there was nothing to apologize for because everyone is doing it. Have you ever level boosted? Had someone else play your account? And this is the YouTuber there asking him this, and or purchase gear / resources for Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4. Asked Nico Rec, Musk responded with 100% emoji before adding that it's impossible to beat the players in Asia if you don't as they do. The richest man in the world noted he's appeared on multiple streams where it's really him playing the games, but defendant using account sharing to boost his character despite never being transparent with people that this is what he was doing. And then the footage, I saw some of the footage he shared there. I think it wasn't actually, you don't actually see like a camera on him or anything. It was just video game footage with him talking over it. So the people were like, well, anybody could be playing that. I mean, still anybody could be playing that.
I don't remember her name, but there was like I guess a scandal. In the video game world, I guess as it is. But there was a woman who got caught basically doing that same thing, and she was just kind of talking over someone else playing it, and so it's like it's happened before. People do it. I don't get why, but they do. I just like, man, you really don't have other things to do with your time? Like,
Uh, um, and yeah, I mean, like you say, you saw the beginning of this clip there that he's like, I'm the top level player of this game and I'm this player there. I mean, if somebody claimed, that if somebody said like, "Hey, man, you're one of the top players of Path of Exile," I bet you he wouldn't say interject was like, "Well, I actually use," because somebody had to drag it out of him that he
Yeah.
actually and discover it that he does boosted, right? So he does take credit for other people's work there, like he usually does with everything. Even something as simple as like he just takes memes from people on Twitter and then passes it off as his own memes. Like something as simple as that, like just so he can have that. And it just
So
yeah.
how do you do, fellow kids?
I mean, just to be kinda like the how you do fellow kids kinda energy, just to be cool with this kinda crowd, even though this is the type of crowd that would just like him no matter what, so it's just like he doesn't really have to.
If anything, they now don't like him because of this. Like
Yeah,
that's he like did the one thing that would get them to kind of flip on him.
yeah. Because, account boosting, they said it is kinda common, but it's very heavily frowned upon because it's all about grinding and the experience of the game and kinda getting to that level. And obviously, if he was just transparent and just said, like, obviously, people would get that you don't have time to play this
Right.
game for hundreds. You got 50 kids. You're supposed to be running all these businesses. You're trying to bring back the Nazis in Germany. You're a busy guy. You know what I mean? You got a lot going on.
Nobody
Obviously,
would be like, "How dare you not spend more time on video games?"
right? It just it kind of makes sense there why you wouldn't be able to spend all that time sitting there. Like you said, the guy said you had to play for hundreds of hours to constantly level up. And maybe you just don't want to do that. Maybe you just want to say, "Look, I just want to get to the fun part. I don't want to really spend there."
It would be perfectly reasonable if you were a really busy person and you wanted to play the game but didn't have the time to pay if and you had a lot of money to like to do that. It would be reasonable because you're like, I want to play the game and I want to have fun with it and I want to get to the good part. I don't have time to build up to it and to get to that. Like I don't think that would not be a conversation even if that was just like yeah, I just don't have time for it.
Yeah. And hello, how's it going there? Filling the gap. You said, "Hey guys, sorry I missed the Mulholland Drive chat there. I missed Lynch. What a creative
Oh,
breath of fresh air he was." Yeah.
hey
Um,
Dan.
but yeah, so that's just kind of weird. And then he was also in the news for something recently as well. I was talking about Nazis anyway. This kind of went on there. During a speech there. Um, man, bad. Kind of worst picture taken right there. I would say.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's like at the most charitable possible benefit of the doubt explanation, it would still be really bad because at the very least, it would be that he is so dumb that he doesn't know what it looks like, which I don't believe. But even if you were to buy into the most benefit you could give that, you would also have to believe that he is so unaware, and that would kind of be damning in a different way anyway, right? Like,
Yeah. And I know people gonna say, "What about the context of it?" So I'm gonna play the clip where it is there. And I guess, people have already seen it. People have already seen a clip, but people say, "Oh, you're taking it out of context," because he says, it's part of the speech. So I'm gonna play the clip there just so people get it.
I want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
I mean, he like bites his teeth and everything. It's like,
It is thanks to you
Yeah.
that the future of civilization is assured.
Oh, Mulholland. Man, another video.
Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, it's
The
Lynch.
movie had to get one more jump scare in.
Yeah, Lynch film. Oh shit. First part was the other part is reality. Yeah. So do you think the context? Do you think that changes? It adds anything?
No, no. It's exactly what it looks like, and it's like I said. I only ascribe that other explanation because even if you were to believe that, it would still be really bad in a different way, right? Like it still wouldn't be good.
Mm.
But I don't believe that. I think it is exactly what it looks like it is. But even the bullshit way of explaining it that people have tried, it would still be bad. So like that's the only point I try and make by bringing that up is like there's no good way to think of it or to look at it, right? Because either it's that, right? It's a full-on salute, which is that's what it looks like to me, or he's so dumb that he doesn't realize that it looks like that, and that's a whole other problem. So like it's either way, it's like not good.
Yeah, and you have people kind of both sides of the aisle arguing about, discussing about it a little bit there. This article mentions from the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League there. They said, this is what they said in the tweet. They said, the nature of the salute has been a matter of debate, but the Anti-Defamation League called it an awkward gesture and a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute, while still adding that we appreciate that people are on edge there. So they said that there, the Anti-Defamation League. So yeah, and then this article mentions that he's contemplating suing Tim Walz, governor there of Minnesota, for saying that it was a Nazi salute there, but he thinks about suing everybody. He's
Yeah, frivolous lawsuits. I mean, again, it's just if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's not a duck now.
Yeah, it's goose walking. Yeah, it's a goose. Yeah. There. So fill in the gap said the party told you to reject the evidence of eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command there. George Orwell, 1984. It was a national salute to Quick Cope in there, and it's corrected with Nazi salute. But you also could probably say national socialist salute as well. There.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I mean, it still describes it as what it is.
Yeah. Because I think he's also taking the advertisers who boycotted going to Twitter, who didn't want to advertise on Twitter. He's taking them to court as well there. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when you're just able to, got the money, sure, why not just sue anybody? With that,
a lot of time lost on Path of Exile, spending it in the courtroom.
Well, hey, maybe he's got a Steam Deck there. He's gonna whip out the Steam Deck and play it on there while he's in court there. Yeah, but I mean, it's just lying about it. I mean, like I said, had to drag the information out of him to admit that he was kind of botting it. His interactions with people just seems very loserish overall there.
Yeah, no, I mean it's pathetic. It's really pathetic.
Yeah. For you think, richest guy, you could do whatever you want, you got all this money, you could, I mean, do all this and you're lying about that.
I'm telling you, if I was the richest person in the world, you would not know what my name is.
Yeah. I mean,
you would never have heard of me.
I mean, that's what a lot of rich people do is a lot of really super wealthy people, kind of just, I mean, they just kind of don't really put their name out there that much, don't want that much attention on them that much. But yeah, Musk likes the attention. He likes being out there, likes being adored. He likes the fan praise that he gets there from all these people. Even the people that criticized him, like Asmongold and this YouTube. I mean, they're still fans of him. I don't think they turned on him and go like, okay, I'm not gonna follow him anymore. I still think they're still gonna do that. But it's just
right.
This interaction. And this was a funny thing I saw there. One person who said that he slid in her DMs there. Lana Pierce, who we've seen on we've actually played a clip of hers before. She was the one that was talking about the accessibility settings in video games there.
Mm-hmm.
This is her on the Sad Boys podcast right here.
I clearly pushed the team and the rollout to happen too soon. We didn't A/B test it, and it was done for my pride. I'm sure
also kind of
like
getting rid of quote tweets. There's just too many of them in a row that everyone's like, maybe not a genius. Did I ever tell you? I might have told you that he used to send me memes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but they were funny as fuck.
They were really good memes. He stole them from a 14.
There were a lot of owl memes.
Stole them from
14. Yeah, like owls. And then when Elden Ring came out, I got a few Elden Ring memes.
God, that's recent.
Did you see that? There's an article or whatever.
Was he CEO when Elden Ring came out?
No, he was. It was when it started.
It was pre-Twitter because I the last message that I ever sent him, or the last time I messaged him back, I said GG because I didn't know how bad it would get. And then never spoke to him again.
There's
well, good for her. She got out. She got away from him.
Yeah, she wasn't Grimes. She didn't end up having 2 kids by him. So she got out there. She done got rocks for brains there. But yeah, Elon Musk there. News on him there.